A plea deal is set to keep Bryan Kohberger locked up for life. The family of one of the Idaho victims is furious. The grieving family of 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves spent weeks waiting for an arrest in her killing. Since then, they and relatives of 3 other University of Idaho students fatally stabbed on a late 2022 night in their off-campus home have endured a legal process punctuated by delay after delay. Now, a month before the suspect's murder trial was set to begin, the wait for justice is poised to end in what one Goncalves family member called a shocking and cruel plea deal that will remove the possibility of the death penalty. More than 2 years. This is how it concludes, with a secretive deal and a hurried effort to close the case without any input from the victims' families on the plea's details, the Goncalves family said in a statement shared with CNN. The plea deal would bring an abrupt end to a case that has captured national attention since the 4 brutal killings rocked the small college town of Moscow. Bryan Kohberger, a 30-year-old former Ph.D. student of criminology at nearby Washington State University, was charged in January 2023 with fatally stabbing Goncalves, Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle, both 20, and Madison Mogen, 21. Under the deal, Kohberger will plead guilty to 4 counts of murder in exchange for the government dropping the death penalty, a person familiar with the matter told CNN. Goncalves family attorney Shannon Gray confirmed the deal to CNN, which has reached out to the families of Chapin, Kernodle, and Mogen about the pending agreement. "This is anything but justice," Kaylee's father, Steve Goncalves, told News Nation Monday evening. "This is the opposite of our will." There was no majority of victims' families believing that this was acceptable. A hearing in the case is scheduled for Wednesday. A letter from the prosector to a victim's family says, the Idaho Statesman reported, jury selection in Kohberger's murder trial was set to begin August 4th. Prosecutors previously indicated they would pursue the death penalty. The Goncalves family wasn't even called about the plea and merely received an email with a letter attached. It said, the letter from Moscow prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson indicates Kohberger will likely be sentenced to life in prison if he pleads guilty, and the deal requires him to waive his right to appeal, the Idaho Statesman reported. Still, the Goncalves family blasted prosecutors' very unexpected decision, writing in a short social media post, "We are beyond furious at the state of Idaho. They have failed us." By contrast, Madison Mogen's father is choosing acceptance. He told the Idaho Statesman, saying the plea agreement would let his family avoid a trial and allow its wounds to keep healing. If Kohberger were given a death sentence, he wouldn't have to spend decades thinking about how terrible he made the world, Mogen added to CBS Mornings. "We can actually put this behind us and not have these future dates and future things that we don't want to have to be at, that we shouldn't have to be at, that have to do with this terrible person," Mogen told CBS. "We get to just think about the rest of our lives and have to try and figure out how to do it without Maddie and without the rest of kids." Thompson's office could not comment on news of the plea deal because of a wide-ranging gag order in the case. He told CNN, in the letter to the Goncalves family, the prosecutor defended the deal as our sincere attempt to seek justice for your family, arguing it will ensure Kohberger will spend the rest of his life in prison, the Statesman reported. In a lengthier statement posted by the Goncalves family, Kaylee's 18-year-old sister Aubrey took issue with the suddenness of the deal after a painfully long legal process, calling it both shocking and cruel to bring it to families just weeks before the scheduled trial. Had this proposal come a year and a half ago, the families could have had time to process, discuss, and potentially come to terms with the idea of a life sentence, however difficult that may be, the statement said.